People find it easy to judge and quickly point accusing fingers at women that are finding it difficult to leave abusive relationships or to leave bad relationships. But they forgot to realize something, that even the society is not making it easy for these women. Let's look at this instance. A lady calls her mother and says, "Mom, I'm going through this issue in relationship. I'm having this issue with my husband in marriage." And the mother says to her, "You just have to manage. You just have to remain there. I've been married to your dad for 35 years, and this is what I have to put up with. I didn't leave my marriage. My mother did not leave her marriage. So why should you leave yours?" So when these women feel they are alone and nobody is going to support their decision, nobody is going to support their action, they don't even have anything to fall back to when they leave this marriage, when they leave this abusive relationship. They tend to stay longer there. And many of them even end up dying in these abusive relationships. Our society is not one that supports divorce or that supports people leaving their homes or marriages. But we've seen events that have happened over the years, and you see that many women are going through a lot in marriage. Many of them are dying in silence, and they can't even speak up because they are scared of what people will say and the reaction the society will give them. Now, this story got to me a few days ago. It's something that is happening presently. It's like a real life situation. So this lady was dating a man. They were in a relationship, dating each other, planning to get married. Then something happened along the line. The lady got pregnant, and the man felt that he was not yet ready for marriage. He was not ready to take up the responsibility that comes with having a child. No, he was not financially buoyant at that time. So he suggested an abortion. After pleading with the lady, after begging her and, explaining and all that, the woman finally decided to abort the child. Before this time, the man already had a son with another woman. He got a lady pregnant and lady had a son for him. He was not married to her, but once in a while he checks up on his child, provide whatever he needs to provide for the child. So I don't know, maybe it was the fear of him thinking that I'm going to have another child. I'm trying to cater for one and another one is trying to come in and I'm not financially stable now. So he was able to convince the woman to abort her child. As God may have it, she aborted the baby. She got rid of the pregnancy. Few years later, they got married. Now they are finally married, and it's been over 10 years. The woman has not been able to conceive. She have not been able to conceive or bear any other child. And you know how these things happen. When a woman is not able to conceive in marriage, the first thing that comes to mind is it is the fault of the lady. Most times it is even the men that have these issues. So just like they'll accuse her, "Are you sure you are a woman? Are you sure you're not a man? No, you have been married for 5 years, you've not been able to conceive." Same thing that applies to when she is giving birth to female children. Most of these men think that what I have to do is to get married to another woman that can give me male children. They don't understand that it is what you give the woman, she gives back to you. Okay, the man is the only one that can produce the Y chromosome that produces a male child. So the woman has two X and the man has an X and a Y. So if he contributes or donates an X to the woman, the Y rather, to the woman to add to her X, it gives them a male child. So even when the fault comes from the men, they just manage to look for a way to shift the blame to the woman. So that was how it happened in this marriage. And all along, they kept thinking the fault was from the woman. But then she said, I've had a child before. If you didn't convince me to go for an abortion, I would have given birth to a child. And I conceived before now. So let's go to the hospital and try to find out where the problem is coming from. After they went for several checkups, several medical tests in the hospital, it was finally discovered that the problem was coming from the man, not really the woman. So the same man that already had a son, that's also impregnated her the first time and rejected the child, all of a sudden has health issues that has affected his reproductive organ. So he can no longer impregnate a woman. So he was told that there was a way around it anyway. No, he should come to the hospital for checkup, proper medications, that's he might be able to pregnant a woman or have another child. But do you know the funny thing? Since this was discovered in the hospital, the man has decided to do nothing about it. The man has refused to go for medications. He has refused to go for his tests. He has refused to take drugs. He has refused to do anything. And this woman is getting old. She does not have a child. Don't forget that the man already had a son with another woman before meeting her. And if it was not for his plea for her to abort a child, she would have had her own child. Okay, so now she does not have a child. The man already has a son and he's doing nothing about getting a child. And he is in that marriage with her. She is not happy and he does not want to do anything about it, despite her plea, despite her complaint, despite her cry. The man does not want to do anything about it. So what are you going to say about such relationship? You can see that this woman goes through emotional torture daily. And would you advise such a person to still remain in this relationship? She is in her early 40s. Menopause is knocking at the door. And she knows where the problem is coming from. This man is clearly being wicked. He's clearly not thinking of the woman's feelings or emotion. Maybe if he had not had any child, he would have taken the matter a little bit serious. So you see that women most times are being treated in a way that is not fair in marriages, in relationship. When this matter got to my table, the first thing I told the person is that you have to separate. You have to give this man some space. Maybe because he goes out every day and comes back and he sees you at home, he feels that nothing is going to happen. She's not going to go anywhere. But unless you don't see having a child as important, unless you don't really bother about what will happen, you in your old age, you're not going to have a child. You're just going to remain that way when you clearly know that the problem is not coming from you, it's coming from a man that has refused to show any form of concern. So I advise her to live for a while. It will make the man to think twice. He's going to come looking for you if he really cherishes the relationship and he wants both of you to work things out. Or if you leave and separate for a while and he does not come looking for you, he does not look for a way to sort out the relationship, does not look for a way to start taking treatment to make sure that at least he's able to give you a child, he's able to make you have a child, then it's just shows that he does not deserve you and he clearly does not want the relationship. When marriage or relationship becomes life threatening, it is important that you separate. You can fulfill your purpose without getting married in life. But if you choose a wrong marriage, you may end up not fulfilling purpose or fulfilling destiny. So when you go back to heaven, God will not ask you, did you get married? How many children did you give birth to in your lifetime? What God will be concerned about is if you fulfilled purpose. What he will be concerned about is how many lives you were able to affect, how many lives you're able to influence in your lifetime. So don't die in a bad marriage because of what people will say. Don't die in a bad marriage because of what the society will think. Separate for a while. Separation is not divorce. Separate for a while and see how things will work out. Then you know the next line of action to take from there. Your life is more important to God. Fulfilling purpose and destiny, it is so important to God that you fulfill your purpose, that you fulfill your destiny, that you align with His calling for your life. So, if a marriage is going to stop you from doing that, then it is stopping you from fulfilling God's plan and purpose for your life. The reason why you came to earth, the reason why you're here. Try to consider and take the decision and bold step today to fulfill purpose and destiny, to get to that place and height which God wants you to get to in your lifetime.